hero building in the fact that the Riyadh Falcons from last year got their first win versus Optic.
No, I was thinking that too, but I think this is just a totally different situation, man. At least when Falcons got their first win, they picked up players with some world champions, so they had experience. Still, these guys don't have a vet yet.
All right, well, let's just get on into it. And hey, what about an opener like this? 3 in the feed already for Cloud9. The only one really left withstanding that battle is Shotzzy, and he is going to play his life because Cloud9 do not get the read that Optic had flipped around the spawns. Good response, though. Encourage and Hide will at least keep Cloud9 to the hard point for now. Optic still swarming, but absent from finding any early time.
Okay, all right, C9. Guns are hot. Ocus off to a 2-in-1 start, make it 3-in-1 start. ARs are firing, SMGs are creating space. So far been basically perfect here at the P1 of managing the spawns, because Optic, with specifically out of shots, is just late pitching over towards White Wall. He tried to flip them on the preferred side, but Cloud9 have been able to manage this. So far, so good here at the P1.
Indeed, indeed. And they've got a pretty good rotation look over towards 2. Nezra in some trouble will fall. Hook with the trade. At least allows an opportunity for Optic to fight over the top of the time. Ocus up top, almost able to lock down one, but no, largely blindsided. And Optic will play a little bit of recovery after largely getting pushed around on P1, and they are set up pretty perfectly here for 2.
Okay, so Cloud9, can they get their first break attempt successfully underneath their belt? As they find the opening kill, it's just Hide a little bit too aggressive on the pinch, gives up his life for free. Now you turn it into a 2v2, and Hercules and Hook are able to clean up the rest. Optic so far flawless here at the P2, continue to hold.
Yep, really good response to the first wave, and now Shotzzy can play the cutoff man over the middle of the map. Now, though, he does get cut down, so Cloud9, one last flood from the front. You also have Nezra working on the rotation over through the middle of the map. Kills are coming the way of Cloud9. Hook up top, waiting for Dashy to respond, and that is pretty much as perfect as it gets. Optic Texas will take the lead, have the last 10 seconds go their way, and with that win through mid-map, rotate over to 3 first.
Yeah, and that's what Cloud9 just have to show drastic improvement very quickly versus some of the best teams in the game. You cannot go one-on-one. When we find the opening kill, we need to overwhelm them with our numbers. But when you force one-on-one gunfights versus players like this, you're most likely not going to lead to a break. And now Optic have an opportunity to chain that ending of P2 to this P3 and blow the game wide open.
And this is an identity moment right now. If you're a Cloud9 fan of, does this team have something to show us in terms of what do we do when we need to break? You know, those are the conversations that are still ongoing right now if you're a new team like Cloud9. And they do well to at least contest some of the time and push Optic back to a 50-50 fight after the setup was so convincing, but largely the second hit has not developed. Dashy and the rest of Optic locking things down perfectly, and that little pinch route from Hercules will pretty much guarantee the time and start working on some pressure to new.
Yeah, so now a potential chance to chain P2 to P3, and now to P4 if Hercules can find this one-on-one. You're finessing around the backside if you are Nezra, but the stun is able to connect. Doesn't impact the gunny on the side of Hercules. So a clean 4 dead off the rotation. The scoreline continues to get worse, and Cloud9 are forced to find another break.
Decent idea right there from Shotzzy, going prone outside of the old hill to stay away from that P3 heady. Gives Hook a chance to respond to the play. They do not read Encourage, though, right now around the back. So an opportunity here for Cloud9 to flip things around. Can they win the gunfights, though? That's what's important. As Hide is able to give yourself one. Hook still keeping a play alive towards White Wall. Spawns for Cloud9 are still in, just barely, if that, for one player. Hercules, big gunfight here, able to find the win. On the other side, now it's just out. Can you pinch the hill together? And Ocus, well, he's not able to do too much from that position. Counter break good for Optic.
Yeah, counter great from Optic. Well played out of Hercules and Hook to just find every single kill on so many different angles. But Cloud9 still send one more player at it. And for now, he's soaking up this final 15. Nezra, can he try to hold the line or at least keep him away off the rotation to new? He cannot. And now Optic trying to clear out some space in the middle of the map, but Cloud9 are fully set up.
Yep. First points that we've seen since P1, though, for Cloud9 largely. Hide, nice moment there, wins back the field, and this is a pretty solid setup. If you take a snapshot of it, it's just down to do you get the reads and do you win your gunfights. And Ocus is a little bit surprised by the Optic hit around the side. Now the fight going up top, and that is in the first break attempt, a successful break for Optic. The spawns and the hill go their way.
Yeah, it's just the first time it works out. Leads to Optic getting a good chunk of time here. now at the P5. So 30 seconds to fight for. All of C9 trying to break through the middle of the map. The Nuke is watching the back line. You have Shotzi aggressive up through plane. Just needs to win his one-on-one. But they are setting up the plays to perfection to walk right into the prearm of Hook. Another 4 dead, a 60-point lead and climbing. And Optic have flipped him to the backside of green.
Yeah, the moments where Optic have been bounced out have been very small and very far between. Hook is 17-8. You still have 15-10 out of Merc, 16-11 out of Shotzi. Everyone is frying. Yeah, it's just been in the moments where Cloud9 do successfully get some sort of a pushback. Optic take their time, they restructure, and then they hit you back with a huge left hook. So it's been really good right now for Optic. But back to P1 we go. This is where Cloud9 found the majority of their time, largely up until that last P5. Dashy in some trouble, gonna get some help from Hercules, who's running a sub at the moment, but trades are in. Nezra through mid-map, able to get some damage down, and we'll finish with the pistol, but not enough conviction here for the Cloud9 setup to get much time, if any at all, here on P1. And as Optic try to fight back from the blue side of the map, we'll jump over and see how they're coming with an Optic Texas. Listen in.
I'm gonna go left. Wait, one could have got away.
They're gonna be flanking me right, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Been needed heavy.
Heavy right. No, one guy's on nuke. Oh, 2 on nuke, guys. They're rotating.
Hey, shot. What HP?
Too low nuke.
Watch out. Yeah.
Alright, that's perfect.
Let me top. Yeah, we get further now.
Ezra, one shot or ult. I'm nading him.
Set him. I kept him one shot.
Yep. On nade should
I'm
come.
gonna flank the right.
Go there.
One's gonna be like pushed up our top
Done,
left
like
side.
inner left side P1.
Go dead.
Nice.
Yeah, pushed up our hut in our
Where'd he
hut
go?
corner.
I'm on these guys top left. He's still corner hide.
He's one shot.
Yeah, I flipped.
Front check. Hit him one hide. What's up again?
Top wood.
Kid's still on me. He's their side tap. Their side tap. There's 2. One shot tap. One shot tap. They're all weak on me blue. They're all weak. They're all weak.
What's that? What's that? Dead. You could. I think I'm
One more shot.
Wait, are you spawning them on me?
You stop with me.
Yeah, on me green. Dead.
Guys, one's a bottom blue.
One's broken. I'm starting
No, you
now.
want top blue.
Top broken on me. Yo, going backwood.
Top blue. One's top. Encourage. Top and one's inner side.
Watch out this ant. Watch out this shit. Nice ant. Yo, top wood.
Nice little comedy moment right there from Shotzi getting his calf raises done on the second floor of the staircase, just kind of popping it, trying to look for the knife, but off the spawn, Optic just handling business. Nice shots from Hook, 22 and 14 on the old time at 2. Rotation to 3 once again, going to be owned by Optic with Dashy watching mid, and no, can't turn that into a second, but should be enough damage for Hook to follow up, and it is.
Yeah, it's just an easy cleanup kill there for the Nuke. Now you have rotation in your back pocket as well over towards P3. The kill feed continues to light up red. And now you have the Nuke hitting that route to try to flip the spawns on the opposite side. Wins another one-on-one. Dashy wins his one. Spawns now flip, but Cloud9 get the break.
It's a nice moment right now for Cloud9, but they have a lot of work to be done. And what we've said in the past on this map already is, yes, you get the first part of the job done, but can you actually set up a hold? And, well, there's your answer. Immediate counter break from Optic once again. So we saw that happen on 5. We're seeing it again here on 3. And that's really been the only moments that Cloud9 have scored outside of the opening 25 seconds that they had on P1. Follow up here, a big commitment to hitting through the old time for scrap, and Hercules takes care of everybody. 4 in a row. Now working on the rotation to help out, and he's going to be good for 5 up top. Oh my goodness. Merc is putting him in the blender, knows there's someone else nearby, and will eventually be shut down as the fight for the spawns continue.
Oh yeah, but you think your backside is cleared on now because you take care of Hercules. Here comes the Nuke from the opposite side. Hard blocking towards the backside of blue, almost gets the better there of Ocus, but it's still C9 holding on for now. Whip out an extra AR, set up the crossfires to make your job a whole lot easier, but so far so good from C9.
Yeah, so far so good indeed, but here comes again the next hit. Not very well received, not received well, not even received at all. They say, hey, come on in, water's fine. It's just a little too simple. And again, we're gonna run out of lifeline here to kind of give some copium to this Cloud9 roster, but at this point, through a couple of weeks worth of action and whatever time they had before the season restarted here, it's just these moments in Hardpoint, like talking about like what is our setup going to look like halfway through the hill? What is the break setup going to look like if we don't have the rotation win? Like those things are going to be difficult to really frame up, and for a team that we have yet to see on Scar, that's what's really hurting them right now.
Yeah, it's just because of the experience, man. You're playing next level Call of Duty versus the best players in the world. The things that you do in challenges you get away with, you just can't do it here in the pro scene. You're losing every single rotation, basically, and then, well, for their first rank attempts, they are breaking you with ease. So it's just nothing going right now for C9. Optic still have an opportunity to close it out here at the P5. Dashy rips another one. He's just trying to end positive, just like his teammates.
Yep, it looks like it should be pretty good to do that, although that little trade at the end may stop that in its tracks. But what a map from Hook. 31 and 21 Hercules, not to be outdone. 33 and 22. I mean, everyone is just absolutely frying. So
yeah, this is what you expect, though, Al, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those series, everybody's got a 1.5.
Yes. Seems to be the case. So Cloud9 little lifeline here at the end, moving over to P1, but that wipe will pretty much determine it. And yeah, I mean, is there a misevaluation there, Jay? I feel like in new teams, they come together, there's three things you worry about. What do our break setups look like when we lose rotation? What do our perfect setups look like when we win rotation? And then what does it look like if we break and hold in the middle of a hard point? Like, it doesn't feel like Cloud9 really has that going right now.
Yeah, you just broke down Hardpoint in general, man. If you're not doing good in any of those categories, you're most likely gonna get steamrolled. And that's just what happens when you're playing against the best players in the world, man. And experience is going to play a factor. Reputation or reps versus the best teams is going to play a factor. And when they're just beating you to all the power punches, they're winning those rotations, you're losing track of certain players, and they're making you pay for it. Yeah, it's just going to be continuously just a learning experience for C9. You somewhat fought there. You had a great P1. Some situation when you're in rotations, you're able to hold it down, but just a second or third attempt where Optic are not willing to give it up for free. It's one of them stat padding series. Everyone going positive besides Dashy. Just an easy game there for Optic.
Yeah, I think the only takeaways for Cloud9 is you could say, hey, whatever we drafted up in terms of our break off, that worked. And then we had what? We had two good breaks. I mean, honestly, like break attempt wise, you had the one on 5 in the first rotation and then the other one on 3 in the second. But it's then like after we successfully break, what does the setup look like in low numbers? Like, it just, again, those protocols just are obviously not there yet. And it's difficult. I mean, because when we look at challengers players that get called up, especially younger ones, they're usually 1 or 2 that are matched with a couple of veterans that can lead you through those discussions. These are 4 guys who have never even come close to sniffing this level of competition before. So like you mentioned, they don't have that type of experience running that kind of practice, running that kind of discipline in those protocols. And that's just where I think this team is really going to struggle no matter how good the guns are, which, to be fair, there are moments where it's like these guys are shooting. It's just they're fighting from really tough gunfights.
Yeah, we keep on saying, like, stage 2, you have 11 matches. You have a lot of opportunities to, obviously, with time, get better throughout every single series. But just right now, the schedule for them hasn't really been the easiest. You lose that series versus Falcons. You get 3-0'd by G2. And now you're playing against Optic. So you're most likely staring down the barrel of an 0-3 start here in stage 2. But it's just about like just gaining confidence as such a young player very early into your career. A lot of these matches are not going to go your way, but you cannot allow it to kill your confidence. You got to continue to learn, because losing is learning, winning is teaching. And right now you're doing a lot of the situations where you just need to be whipping out the textbook, writing down a couple notes to realize what's going wrong.
Yeah, like pull out the whiteboard on like the screen share and like, all right, let's just draw. Like, you go here, you go there. Yeah, it's tough scenes. And again, like looking down at like what they've already done. Like, they've already been put in the 100-point club once. A couple of decent fights for Cloud9 and a couple of other hard points. But yeah, those are the same things that we talked about like when we watched them play Den against G2. Same situation. Speaking of Den, hey, perfect segue. Didn't mean to do that. Den coming up for the Search and Destroy. Another map that this team of Cloud9 has not played yet. They did look good on the Scar search after dropping early. I mean, they were down early in that game versus Riyadh. They came back nicely and ran a couple of rounds in a row to really give themselves some momentum. But for Texas, you know, we saw them obviously round 11 against Miami in their win recently. Have not played this map a ton though, even though they found a lot of success on it.
Yeah, they're sitting at 3-0 so far in the season, and obviously what we saw yesterday versus Miami was just the Shotzi show. Like, if you allow that guy to get lost or dictate how the game is going to be played, the game is very easy, because yesterday this guy single-handedly got this map done for them. 9 non-traded kills, 100% in an opening duel win percentage, and then KD at 2 point. Yeah, the guy just went ballistics. If you allow this guy to get lost in your spawn or to make those plays where he's just loose, yeah, you're not going to have fun. So Nezra, I think, on the opposite side for C9 is the guy I'm looking to equalize him.
That's just, dude, like, let's just zoom out. Like, you just told me Shotzi, guy who's been in the league since 2019, 2020.
Yeah, three-time world
championships across different titles. And Nezra, who I'm sure 90% of the YouTube chat is like, who? Like, it's tough, man. It's just on paper, this is a mismatch of all mismatches. So, it's a tall ask, but hey, the shine of the light, even if it's not necessarily cast upon you, can be bright when you're playing up against Optic. So maybe a chance to try to establish. Because let's be honest, I think you point to a good player. Like Nezra in his debut versus G2 looked good. And I would say just kind of overall, he's probably been one of their better players, if not their best player to this point, based on the numbers alone, if not the eye test.
Yeah, he's been definitely like passing the eye test when you talk about this new C9 roster. It's just non-stop confidence with the SMG, not afraid to make plays. He saw it a little bit ever since he's entered the building, but now versus Optic, your S&D game needs to be on point. Thankfully, I've been able to watch these guys the last couple of days, and just like S&D chows, they play with each other, even 2v2, 3v3, so they should have the chemistry, but Hercules finds the first blood still.
And look at this. Merc will back away. Shotzi will step in, knowing that he's in a good spot to watch this rotation, but Oka sniffs that out first. Good awareness there. So the 3v3, but trying to retake through the scope of Dash, it could be difficult. Gets one, says that's good enough, backs away, has a chance at another, but sees the info. Hyde will be traded, and then over the top of the bomb, yeah, you're talking about the best pistol player probably in the league right now. A couple of opening headshots makes it easy to follow up on.
Yeah, just a bait and switch right there to close out the round, but it all starts with Hercules just being the decoy on the opposite side of the map and getting one. Because he draws the attention, allows the bomb to get planted. Even though Shotzi gets picked off, you know that Hercules is still going to be involved in the play. Dashy makes it a 3v2. You get the trade towards outer, and then Hercules puts the finishing touches on the round. Opens up with 3. Optic up 1-0.
Very clean, very comfortable. And just a lot of credit, I think, to Merc finding that first blood and knowing the situation. Textbook, business as usual. Cloud9 now on for their offense. Let's see what we get in terms of any offers from them. Little split, showing some force by nades across the map, and now we're going to get a little bit of a burst over. Oh, and Shotzi just, dude, that is so dirty. Like, between the shingles and, like, how the sun hits the roof, it puts him in a very obvious yet not obvious spot. Good trade, though, for Nezra. Keeps us 3v3. Plus a follow-up here from Okus. We'll have the B-side open. Yeah,
now Okus is giving the information to the teammates. This B-side might be open because we got the kill on the opposite side. They most likely rotated back.
Whoa.
But now that you find that frag all the way in the backside of Dojo, it's a 1v3 for Merc. But he has an angle.
And that's going to be the bomb carrier down. Tags are out. Able to get the second. No way!
Oh, my!
Oh! It can't happen. And even Dashy's looking at him like, bro, what did you just do?
You see, like, even with Cloud9 think you start gaining some life. We already got the scuffle of the game in round number 2. You're planning on an angle he's able to see you from. You're chowing without your teammate in the vicinity, or he was, but just doesn't hit any shots. The Golden Child pulls off another 1v3, and all the momentum Cloud9 just gained instantly stripped away. Optic up 2-0.
I think Encourage hit 1 bullet on Hercules.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Dashy. Oh, you thought, but Shotzi's right there. Just multiple angles of approach to get that first blood. And meanwhile, we got 1v1s across the map. Hyde does win his, though. Hercules a kill away, likely from getting the Hellstorm, and that's a freebie. No, doesn't have it. Not quite there. So now he just needs one more thing.
Yeah, he still knows Hyde's here. Hyde just got the kill on this side, so he has to be close towards us, but just going to disengage with his teammate dropping.
Oh, man.
Dashy has info onto Nezra, but only a pistol in hand, and Nezra's just going to turn around and play the corner and get the better of Dashy. But once this bomb play goes down, Hellstorm earn, and can Hercules have another clutch?
1v2 this time. Technically easier. Oh my gosh, if he decides to full wrap this. Oh dude.
Man.
This kid's situational awareness is next level. Knows that these guys are new, likely going to play on top of one another. You knew Dashy was chasing one. Unbelievable. Does he get an angle? Unbelievable. Now to the 1v1. Hyde. Gonna try to hop for it. Merc. Jumps, checks, has the angle. Are we kidding?
Dude. telling you, these guys are pissing down their leg. Like, that is just unacceptable. I can understand the first guy committing on the defuse. Like, okay, we're trying to draw him out. But Hyde, you know where he is. He has the angle. He just killed your teammate from this angle, and he spotted you hop on the defuse. I don't know what Cloud9 are doing right now, but Hercules said, all right, cool, I'll keep on clutching up these rounds. Hell, somewhere in the back pocket, 1v3, 1v2. Optic up 3-0.
What do you say?
Can't say nothing
Just
now.
revel in the majesty of what we're watching. Hook, set nade, plus a follow-up. I mean, it just feels like we're checked. It just feels like we're completely checked. Nothing's working for Cloud9. They're going to try to desperately back away, and Optic are just holding down the left stick, saying, we're just better. Yep. He pistol whips this guy.
Oh, damn. Hercules had to kill him with a stun. Some reason why Dashy dies there. But that round is very quickly taken care of early on. From the nuke, finding an opening kill with the frag, and then instantly the second kill with the M15. Just keep the numbers on your side. Don't allow Cloud9 to regroup in the back of their spawn as you trap them on that side. And Optic playing flawless here in the search and destroy. And keep in mind, they also got a Hellstorm to guarantee this next offense if they wanted to.
Oh, man. Well, I imagine Scump and the rest of the boys are laying back and laughing.
Cooling, bro. Cooling it. I'm telling you. Just like the
curling the mustache. Like, you see? Hellstorm out. Bomb plant to be on the way. And if you're Cloud9, just please do not die to this. And they shouldn't.
Well, Courage is isolated in towards Dojo. But they're not going to force that gunfight. Just going to keep him alive. But the bomb is getting planted. They're setting up Shotzi on the late pitch.
Yep, and Shotzi got around the backside of Hyde. So now he's just green pastures maybe, but turns not able to get the burns. So now 3v2 for Cloud9. Time ticking under 30 seconds though. And Merc still has yet to die. Here comes the play then through 10. Semtex queued up. Easy read. Ocus, the rest of the gang follow through, and okay. It'll stop at 10 for Hercules, and Cloud9 will get around.
Good stuff out of C9 to manage the Hellstorm coming in. No one drops. You find the first blood, and then Hyde just gets the greatest timing possible on the rat back through Dojo to catch Shotzi on the pinch. You're minimizing all the angles, potentially that they're going to try to work to keep this bomb from being diffused. And then you just isolate the last two guys with your numbers to finally get one on the board. They should have two, but now they got one.
Yeah. Definitely should have two, but
maybe three.
Maybe three, true, because the 1v2 afterwards, you know, you're right. Whoa! Okay, we've got set nades on set nades. And that is just the perfect read right there. And that's one of those moments where, like, you walk into a set nade like that and you're just like, wow, we need to get into some custom games and do some work if you're Cloud9.
Now it's a 1v3 for Ocus. Bomb gonna be down towards low couches. Dashy shows a shoulder, gets the info, and look how fast Hook and Hercules are reacting to it. Just don't want to allow this guy any space. Don't give him a chance at clutching up this round. And the nuke holding the angle. He's able to clean up house. And Optic now at game point.
Oof. Well, we'll take a look at the opening set play, because it is just an opening nade, follow-up gunfight, and of course the scope from Dashy. Everything just built to be prepared for this play over through mid. And this look for Dashy on to encourage, also pretty darn good. I don't think that was from that last round.
Yeah, that was from the previous. Yeah, that was definitely from the previous. But it's all good. Dashy still hits his shots. Doesn't matter. Optic at game point. Hercules with a 10-0 KD. Trying to one-up it potentially here. As they're getting aggressive. Single-handedly is going to be shots. He gets picked off. So now if you have the numbers of your C9, forced them to beat you by plenty.
Yep. Don't get picked by Dashy. Little snap doesn't hit. Hyde playing close onto 10. Merc trying to isolate. And if he gets around the backside and feels like he can clear 10, that would be insane, because that would be a freebie. Dashy's watching, waiting for contact. Hook still floating with the bomb behind this play. And it really just comes down to, yep, do they know Hyde's intent and how they do with Dashy falling?
And Hyde is going to be ready for the second gunfight as well. So now the nuke left in a 1v4. Great plays out of the young gun to be trapped between a rock and a hard place and walk out on top. Not going to give the nuke a chance there, and C9 now starting to make some plays. 5-2.
Okay. Signs of life in ways. But like you mentioned, it's just like you go back, you take away those 2 clutches from Merc. This is a totally different game, but the problem is those things didn't happen. So you still have a long way to go here, but you've survived through the Hellstorm, which is fine. It just comes down to how do you modify and mold your playbook to continue to gain advantages against a team like Optic.
Yeah,
because it's going to be, it's not as easy as just like, oh, just shoot your gun a little bit straighter and better, and then you'll start winning rounds. Like, this map has been controlled by Optic pretty much through and through.
Yeah, and Cloud9 are going right back to the strategy that has hurt them, which is just taking the map. Because when you do this, you give up all the opposite sides of the map, and Optic are able to take the space, but you're able to find the first blood onto the nuke. Nezra's able to get into bottom service, find game number 2, and has all the info here to potentially close this out clean. 1v3 for shots.
Yeah, and Shotzzy will fall. So that's like Cloud9 saying, all right, we threw rock in the rock, paper, scissors battle in our last offense, and it got countered by paper. Let's just throw rock again to see if we can get it out. And it works, because this time Optic are not prepared for the mid hit, so it's one of those things like, that's maybe astute play calling right there from the IGL. Be like, okay, they just blind countered us there. Like, there's no way they do that again. Let's just try it. And this time it works out nicely. So, hey, okay, that works.
Yeah, it's just back-to-back rounds there where Shotzzy and Hook are playing them with no respect. Like, it's a previous round when Shotzzy gets first blooded on their attack, aggressive as hell through mid-cut. That time it's Hook trying to answer. Just gets picked off. This is where Optic usually, though, lock it right back in. A couple rounds they let get away from them. Gonna go back to what has been working. Takes the space away at B, and let's just get the bomb planted. Yeah,
just force the gunfights on your terms. This is a very natural and pretty normal setup towards B. Nades over the top for Cloud9 are decent, but they don't get any kills. Shotzzy tagged, has to hold off for just a moment, and Cloud9 are going to try to re-clear mid and try to hit this post plant retake from 2 points of ingress, but Hercules is watching that hit at mid, meaning now the dojo play needs to start to create something, and Shotzzy gets the green white, but gets hit by Encourage, so it's on to Hercules to rotate back over to the action. Has help inside from Hook, or does he? Now it's just down to Hercules. Pistol out. Off the reload. Nade doesn't tag fully. Time on his side. But the space is not looking good. 8 seconds. Oh, he's got an angle on the bomb diffuser. What are we doing? No way.
Yeah, Hercules just broke them down. Yeah, let's just put the headset down. I got to go use the bathroom. Those guys just continue to break. When Hercules is the last player alive. He's isolated. You know exactly where he is. You have to be the aggressor. Don't give him an angle to potentially take down Nezra. Just Encourage chooses wrong. And that allows Hercules to have 3 clutches in this search and destroy for Optic to go up 2-0 in the series.
I mean, that has to be the definition of Encourage is nervous. Like, it's Hercules on the other side. My former teammate. I know what he does. I played him with them on Stallions all last year. But to hold the heady when you have Merc at 1 HP and not slide out to protect the only angle you can stop the diffuser from happening, that's straight and just nervelessness from Encourage.
Yeah, I told you, it's like they're pissing down their legs. Like, whenever Hercules is the last one alive, you have to be able to send him. What does Pred say? One shot, you chase him down like he stole your kid. Guess he must have not saw that video, but now you got to fight back down 0-2 on Exposure Overload.
Yikes. That's not good news if you're a Cloud9 fan. Not good news at all. For Optic fans, you're just sitting here loving life.
Cool,
just
like
absolutely
this.
loving it. Yeesh, absolutely casual, chilling. It's been one-sided. We'll see how things decide as we move into the overload on the backside of the break. Optic all over it. Hercules all over the search and destroy. And it just happens to be one of those green wall waves that's just hitting hard against this very inexperienced Cloud9 team. See what happens to the overload, though, when we come back. Don't go far.
Scuff, official controller of the CDL. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
COD Champs tickets are on sale now. Come see the best teams lock in for this season's grand finale in fabulous Las Vegas. All 4-day passes come with early venue access. Head to phasevegas.com or scan the QR code to get your tickets now.
In Call of Duty, stars are made while pursuing greatness. They channel legendary performances through the sound of a ticking clock, a high-stakes situation, or an unfavorable scoreboard. One such star is Mason Hercules Ramsey. He's a soft-spoken lad who stands toe-to-toe with the league's very best, but when the time comes, snaps into deadly form.
This Spawn play in his life, and this man is gone!
Behind each player is a story. How did he arrive here?
So I started playing challengers, and about halfway through MW3, we made it to the last chance qualifier. We had to win one match to go to champs, and we lost them both.
Hercules, the new guy up, looking to earn his way to champs. Stun is out. Assault sends home.
Yeah, that kind of sucked, but thankfully BO6 came around. I got to start the season on a better team.
Crosser on top of the Lambo. He has a chance at this. Count.
Sparks takes some space, but Hercules is able to catch him.
I'm not sure if we're really bringing this up just yet, but I think Beans is going to be involved, which is a beansless meal here at the major.
Is it officially no beans?
I think it's
The circumstances were definitely unexpected going into the Toronto major, but
Merc is a slayer, right? He's been getting crazy gas, Chris. Like, he's been going off in challengers, so he's just got to come in and find those kills.
just made the best out of it.
Initial gunfights with the young gun.
Ultra. Plus the shot on the cross. Remember the name. It's Hercules.
No, storylines like that write themselves, so it's easier for us to sort of follow. But when that kid went on there, and obviously like the amount of people talking about him, immediately had him on my radar and sort of kept my eye open.
After a crazy series of events, the rookie finds himself on the roster of Optic Texas, and it is there that his newfound legacy would be cemented.
It's history in the making! Back to back! World champions!
He understands the game really well. He kind of just does him, honestly. Usually when they're new, like, they have like a little ego, but for him, for whatever reason, like, he just trusts us, and I mean, this kid is generational talent.
From a competition standpoint, his future is bright. From everything else, the ceiling is, who knows.
Welcome back to Call of Duty League, and well, if you're being a good COD fan, you're watching the Cup right now. It's going on. Challengers Cup is hot and live, and well, our T-Bush boys are watching an absolute battle between P7 and Notorious. These are two of the top teams in North America, period, and they are battling right now. So big shout out to the extra coverage that's coming through from all the Challengers love, of course, all the Telluride Butch guys. We love those guys. They are passionate, to put it plainly. And Jay, let's just, maybe this is the easy segue. We've seen a lot of players from Challengers get picked up in the past.
Oh yeah.
We've never seen it like this, where it's all players who have never seen the league before except for Exceed. Is that the right move? Because right now it feels like no.
No, I think it's definitely not the right move right now, because even some players and challengers are not even accepting offers because they're finding a lot more success in challenges. It's just a mixed fest of a year so far, but I don't know. I think we're only going to have to wait with more time to develop how the game changes, potentially some new maps, bring some new life into the scene, but at least for Cloud9 right now in this matchup, yeah, I don't really know what I was about to say there. Yeah, Optic are the best overload team in the game. Good luck.
Yeah, between them and FaZe right now, right? They're definitely they're definitely leading the charge in terms of what the mode should look like.
It's just like FaZe have an auto veto. Optic play every match.
That is true. That is true. Hey, that's a good title for it. They'd be balling. Yeah, first across the board pretty much everywhere except for goals per game, but honestly, that doesn't make much of a difference because even if they are low-scoring games, they're usually winning. They've only dropped 4 overloads in the entirety of this season, and the ones that they did were, well, they were pretty much close, I would say, except for like one match that I can remember where it was like they got a little bit beat up, but they, like you said, play everywhere and they play everything, and they're looking disgusting in the map 3s.
Oh yeah, they are on an 8-game win streak in this mode. They are the #1 overall team, KD. Yeah, the best at having the time of possession. They're the best at also defending when the time comes. Like, these guys are just a lot to handle, and it's just difficult when you have individual players who can consistently win their one-on-ones. Your pace playmakers are Shotzi and Hook. Sometimes they whip out ARs just to have a little bit of defense, but Hercules and Dashy aren't slow pokes as well. So these guys are just fluid around the map in the new mode.
Well, we'll see if Cloud9 can find a way to respond, and boy, do they need to, because right now through the second qualifier, of course, they are down at the bottom. They're actually down at the bottom of the overall leaderboard right now as well. Just a 1 series win so far for Cloud9. Boston struggling, dude. I mean, especially after that last series, you kind of sit here and wonder, where are they going to go? Somebody save Nasty is what I think the general consensus would probably be. But really all the teams from 6 down to 12 are trying to desperately find wins here early. You just don't want to be in a situation where you're 1-4, 2-5, trying to like get back into this format into stage 2 where you're fighting then for your life the rest of the way out.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, for all those teams that are sitting through that 6-12 spot, you got to guarantee these kind of wins. Like, for Boston to lose like the way that they did versus Vancouver definitely caught a lot of people off guard, but just a recent form of Boston, you can sort of see it playing out that way. It's just with Vancouver getting that W, everything shakes up with potentially who's going to be the final 2 that don't make it to Major 2. But for Cloud9 right now, you just need to gain some momentum, some kind of confidence, something to ride on going forward in the rest of your matches. So far, you're finding 2 kills for early map control.
Yep, again, breakoffs have been fine for Cloud9. It's just down to what happens in the second, the third, the fourth layers of these plays that are happening. It's almost like, okay, we did A, so we must now have the ability to get to Z without going through B and Y first. Go with me. Gotcha. Here we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Follow up, though, for Cloud9 decent. We'll still battle over the middle of the map.
And now Shotzi has to be more aggressive on this flank route because he was trying to be the lead blocker over towards the B point, but with his teammates losing those fights, now C9 are the aggressors, have all the space over towards B. Not a single player from Optic in the vicinity to try to contest this, and Cloud9 maintained them in map control and are now dominating in the kill feed.
And they have a setup to possibly relay. Let's see how they're going to calm this through as we jump over to a C9 listening.
Okay.
Hold the ball.
Who was close? Who was close?
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Bad, I got it.
Nice, score.
Nice, thank god.
Nice, good job, bro.
I got one on the right.
Wait, respond right. They're respawning.
Yo, Jenny.
I'm going around.
Let's flag going to
Two
deep right. Kill one. There's no deep right. That's two deep right.
Oh, you're really nice. Good.
Take your time, bro. You're alone on the right. I spawn close.
He jumped out.
Bottom right.
I have your deep right. I have your slide. If he slides, I have your slide.
P4.
Deep right. One shot back right. One's close as well.
He's gonna cut. He's gonna spawn.
They already got it.
Spawns mid. Ball spawns mid.
Already all right. Shotzi, our side, on a blue box.
Yeah, Shotzi got me. He's back 18.
Blue van.
Got him.
Just stay on that.
I'm in there, Zig. Yeah,
I'm dead. Yo, one's through our right and one's our bottom ring Merc.
I'm playing through this kid in our spawn.
Just keep playing.
Weak, Dashy, they're both our side now. Like bottom ring and
my bad, I mean,
there's one bottom, top ring.
Can't play.
One shot Zig.
Can't play.
Merc. They're gonna get all up.
I killed ball. Ball dead. There's no guy low ring and mid. Low ring and mid.
Gotcha. I have left cut off, bro.
I don't see. They're going right.
They have to go
Going right.
Close. Top there. Okay, back right. Kind of weak.
Hey, somebody
back right.
All right, decent moment, kind of looking at that relay, although it got a little scary, just a touch. Optic do respond with one, though, and with 2:15 on the clock, a chance to possess the ball a little longer.
Yeah, but they keep on losing their lead blocker, and Hercules has a Hellstorm in the back pocket, but he's carrying the EMP, so he can't call this in and get the score at the same time. But this is where the reinforcements are starting to hit. 2 in favor of Optic. You just need to get this trade under courage. And you potentially have another score, but it's the route from Nezra. Just keep them at bay. Allows your teammates back into play.
Well, fortunately, he cannot kill enough time for the EMP to reset, though. So very quickly, 2-2. Hercules is going to drop the Hellstorm in now by playing through mid, but Hook, as the lead blocker, will drop. So now it's just down to, can you actually do anything to control this EMP? Nice route here from Shotzi. Should have at least some sort of an opening through the panels. And that's only gives you the 1 though. So yeah, Hellstorm largely negated once again by Cloud9. Just comes down to can they actually get a read to set up some sort of an offensive play.
Yeah, and they know that Shotzi's roaming in their spawn, but Shotzi isn't worried about the EMP for now. He's just focused on spawn, killing the last 2 guys. Only able to take down Okus. But his teammates are now in the position that they want to be in. You're just that clutching up in these fights. Cloud9 are winning one-on-one after one-on-one, but you need to trade Dashy before he gets anything else, because now everything gets shut down.
Shotzi now trying to chase. Interesting. Optic looking just to heavy stack this B lane. It's just going to be Hercules here rotates away. So this is, yeah, Optic choosing to chase from behind here. A lot of trust that Merc is going to be able to hold this while Shotzi tries to get involved in the play, but he's going to be there a little bit too late. Really interesting call there by Optic to not really enforce the middle of the map and just kind of try to play from behind the play. Allows Cloud9 to score, and with 30 seconds left, now it's just down to if they can get their way back over towards the new EMP, and Nezra's double will stop Optic in their tracks.
Yeah, they're already in a position to try to get 4 before halftime. It's just that lead blocker and Okus can't afford to chow at that moment. Before EMP is in your possession, before your team is even up on the map to potentially get the trade, you give up your life, but you still got Nezra here on 5 in a row. Can't predict right which way he needed to look, but ball, EMP over towards B.
Opportunity, but stops for a moment. You pick it up right before the overtime, so an extra 30 seconds. And a little bit of motion now over towards this B goal. Merc trying to chase, able to find the first cleanly. Back up top. Nice movement to give himself some elevation to play with. But Hyde off the pitch gets 2. That may not make a difference though, because up and over. Yes! Slam dunks it at the end. Optic able to get the score as we send it to the second.
And every time I look at these player cams, Optic are just smiling. Like, it shouldn't be that easy. You turn it into a 2v2 on the complete opposite side of the map. Hercules barely has to shoot his gun for them to add that final score to tie the game going into the half. But Cloud9 came out the gate swinging, man. It gets a little bit scary right here when Hook takes care of Okus. And ACOM's like, oh my God, what the hell? And then thankfully Hot in the position to get the trade.
For real.
But you end the half tied at 3-3. Cloud9 fighting.
They are. I'm telling you, man, it's just like, I know the most recent outing from Cloud9, we're all looking at like, whoa, woof. Like, they were getting ran through by the Falcons, which is not great news, but they can shoot. Like, the individual guns are there. And that's never really been an issue, I feel like, with a lot of potential options out of challengers. It's just down to, can you put the right system together? And you're dealing with a team of players that largely don't know each other at all in any form outside of the 2 that played for the Stallions for a couple of weeks at most. So it's just a big challenge to put this group of players together and expect to see results against the opponents that we're dealing with today, as Okus again shows you that this guy could shoot. Just comes down to, can they actually make a play as a group before?
They have an opportunity here to try to make the play, but you lose your lead blocker and encourage. So now Nezra has his hands full, has to pop a 3-piece, can only find 1 before falling. And now the EMP off the rotation, because Hyde the entire time was just sitting nice and comfy towards top ring. If you could just get the EMP on his side, you can potentially get a score. But every single time he keeps finding a kill, so do Optic, so they keep slowing it down.
Yeah, and they just lose Shotzi there for a moment, who does take care of the EMP carrier. Encourage around the flank, able to at least get the shutdown, but trying to get this to score would be a different story. Yeah, and that's why Hercules is able to take care of both of them. Good team shots in the mix. A little stuck trying to mantle, and Hyde's double actually allows an opportunity just to grab and go and get this over the finish line for a 4-3 tally. So good follow-up from Nezra. Shotzi trying to do the same thing on the other side, but he's held back. And now Optic have to work their way through Hyde and the rest of the Cloud9 setup over towards the new device location.
Yeah, Optic are just getting caught off guard by just the aggression on the side of C9. You're expecting when we find 2 kills in our spawn, we just shut down the EMP guy. Like, you should be playing for kills. But they were the aggressors through bottom ring and capitalized on that moment to be up by 1. But Optic looking for an instant response. Chauncey already finds 2. Hyde's positioning is already accounted for. You locate him, you clear out the B point, another tie game.
Yep. Pretty comfortable. 3 minutes of the clock now. Shotzi mid-map shut down. 2 kills for Cloud9 come through. Dashy kind of has to keep his head in the swivel and watch multiple things at once, and he's missed Okus, who's already played through dirt, but can just guard the device for now. And that will alleviate some of the pressure off this reset that's trying to come through. But encourages double, Keeps Cloud9 in map control. Hook stepping up, able to catch Okis off guard, plus another, and a chance for him to possibly just grab and go, especially the kills come through at mid. Tags are out from Shotzzy, and they will get forward, will Optic, but not far enough to threaten the score, you would think, unless Merc can win that last pistol fight, but no, instead it's Nezra and the rest of Cloud9 resetting.
And Nezra, their lead blocker, just gets caught. And now Shotzzy has the perfect crossfire setup. EMP carry is going to be one shot, and the knife somehow, some way, does not connect onto Okis. But with 2 minutes left to go, Optic now need to lock it on in. They have mid-map control. They have the EMP. They find the opening kill. Where's the lead blocker going to lead? Oh,
there it is. Yep, sure is. Should be at least. Encourage. Yeah, shut down by Shotzzy at this push through, and he's doing more. So now 5-4 the count. Cloud9 do have a couple of players that have gotten through the middle of the map, so they could potentially still contest this. But you need to get Shotzzy out of this position from window side. And he just absolutely shotguns one. Now back over towards the device location. He's going to get another. Follow up. Is there going to be one? Hyde shows himself. Dash, he's covering. And, well, Encourage gets the pick, but the focus is towards this play at B. And, yeah, very wise. Hercules will back away, not seeing an opportunity there.
Oh, yeah. Shotzzy has this all cut off. He's giving the information to my teammates. They have to be stacking over towards his B point. I just chooses his timing correctly before he strikes. But Optic are keeping them thinking. A rotation back over to the B point. Everyone is cleared on out. A 2-point lead now for the green wall.
Really good awareness even on Hercules right there, kind of cutting back around the boxes, knowing there's a player who could potentially be behind him. Another Hellstorm for Merc. 19 and 17. Shotzi's at 30 and 20. And this has just been chaos. Although,
got it though.
Cloud9 just pick up the device and run with it. The Hellstorm doesn't really dissuade them at all from making the play, and they're just down one with 35 on the clock.
Oh, and they take care of Hercules on the pinch. They already have 2 kills and them in map control to go with it. Now can Okis find an opening on the opposite side? He does not. Dashy slows them down again with a double. Make it a triple. Can we get the 4-piece? Yes, I do. Big Brucey. Just being the safety net, the goalie, keeping the EMP right in front of him.
Yep, just don't allow Cloud9 to touch it, and you're going to be good to go. Nezra, last one largely left to make a play. He's found one, but there's the team shots coming through. And Optic will 3-0 Cloud9 New York. Got a little bit tight here in the overload, mostly thanks to the opener that Cloud9 were able to put together with 2 quick goals. But Optic never waver. Quick responses, and yeah, the PJ pants are still on apparently, so back to business.
Yep, I told you, fresh out of bed to play Cloud9. Unfortunately for them, that's another 0-3 series. Still have only 1 map win so far in stage 2 with the new lineup. It's been tough with the schedule that they have played. But when you play versus Optic, you cannot afford little mistakes. You got to force yourself to cut your losses in Hardpoint, set up at the new. And when we're not finding breaks, take our time and coordinate it together as a team instead of just going one-on-one after one-on-one. Because the Hardpoint is a blowout. You get to the search and destroy, a couple of those rounds get away from you because we're not playing for the clutch. We're not playing to win these rounds with our advantage in our numbers, and we consistently are throwing them away. You fought here in the overload. But Optic still were able to walk away with the W here. Just still, it's just time. Like, that's all Cloud9 are going to need. Time versus